Welcome, everybody. It's time for the show you've been waiting for, another edition of Delmarva Sports Insider. I'm Ryan Eldridge, beside a local legend, Trayvon Miles, a Philly icon, Jeff Harrison, not too far away, the young gun, John Restuccio.
That's exactly right. Welcome into the only live and local show concerning all sports, and I mean all sports, here on the shore.
And we've had a pretty hot week, just want to say, the last few days, reaching 70, 80 degrees, which means that the spring season is coming to an end, and we have a lot of potential conference championship games coming up within the next week.
And it means we're thinking a lot about America's pastime, or as I like to call it, my favorite summer sport, baseball.
We'll begin in the North Bayside with the second meeting between two powerhouses. Colonel Richardson taking on St. Michael's, and the Colonels took matchup 1 over St. Michael's earlier this year. Division title on the line this time around. The Colonels looking to sweep it in Talbot County, scoreless until the 4th. Mason Lambert on a flare one to right, 2-run score. Colonels leading 2-0. Next batter is Nate Brown. He's going to slap one just past the outstretched shortstop. Lambert would score. All of a sudden, the Colonels leading 3-0 after 4 innings.
All right, so Remy Mangum, stellar on the mound to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Saints get on the board. Grant LaBelle chops one up the middle. Austin Glesner would come around to score, but the Colonels come right back to add some insurance in the top half of the 7th inning. Jackie Zebron with an RBI double, and that would be enough as CR takes the North title with a 5-1 win.
Of course, when you get runs early, pressure's kind of off me. I just need to let my defense work, and we obviously got into them a little bit, so I think that helped. 24 games is a state championship, and that's obviously our end goal. I mean, the North is nice, but we've won the North when I've been in high school 2 years, so it's always nice to win that, but end goal is state championship.
There it is.
Yeah, I was going to say, like a professional interview right there. 6 innings, no earned runs. Pretty good outing. Yeah,
he put on a show. This game is very unique. I'm talking about between St. Mike's and Colonel Richardson. Not only are they two of the best teams in the Bayside, they happen to be two of the best teams in the state. And Colonel Richardson, or St. Michael's, I should say, not really a big place, but that little peninsula is crowded anytime Colonel comes to town, and it's a good reason why. It's also a reason why these guys could be playing again in a couple weeks.
Yeah, exactly. Most likely going to see this matchup once again, but for Colonel to beat St. Michael's once is enough. I mean, that's like already, job done in the season. Now they take 2 games and they sweep the season series, at least during the regular season. Yeah, pretty impressive
Hard
from
to beat
Colonel.
a team 3 times.
That is true.
We'll see.
We'll see. But for more games from around the Bayside, let's send it over to Jonah Restuccio.
All right, so with the Bayside North title clinched, Colonel, well, they have to have a partner for Tuesday's Bayside Championship. So that's where we find Mardella and Stephen Decatur. Winner takes the Bayside South. Warriors coming in 6-0 in the division, looking to make it a perfect 7. But the road team gets on the board first. Hayden Snellsire sends a breaking ball deep into center. It's an out, but with the man on third, it's also good for a run. So the Hawks up 1-0. Mardella held with no hits in the first 3 innings, but Ryan Tiemann changes that quickly. Tiemann tears one into the gap in right center, breaks up the no-no, and ties things up at 1. So we're still in the 4th, but an errant pickoff attempt here to third base is going to go into the outfield and bring in 2 Warriors. So Mardella, a strong 3-1 lead. Now remember this play, very pivotal, because Ethan Peterman would hold it down on the mound. The Mardella Warriors are your Bayside South champs with a 3-1 win over Decatur. They will now play Colonel for the conference title next week.
Feels great. We've been dreaming of this since day 1, and we've worked our butts off every single day to get here. And we played our game, and it worked.
All right, so now here it is. The stage is set. Mardella appearing in their first ever Bayside Championship, while Colonel goes for their 3rd title. This championship marks the 2nd straight year that both a first-timer and a 1A school will represent the South. Last year was the eventual champion, Snow Hill, who beat Colonel in the end, if we remember that. All right, so with the Bayside Championship set, Parkside and Delmar warming up Purdue Stadium in the Bi-State Challenge. Cats on the board first here. Dylan Rodriguez sacrifice fly, plates Luke Waters. So Parkside quick to answer in the bottom half of the 1st. Grounder back to the pitcher, runner on second going, but the throw well over third. Kate Johnson scores on the missed throw to tie it back up at 1. To the 4th, Gavin Roy Stewart gets just enough to get it go through the gap, brings in John Roberts ahead of the throw. So Delmar back on top 2-1, and from there, that's where things would start to fall apart for Delmar. Anthony Sarbanes, his shot goes through the shortstop's legs. The runner scores, and the Rams hang 8 runs on Delmar in the final 2 innings. Maryland 2-0 so far against Delaware in the Bi-State Challenge with Parkside's 9-2 win. All right, to boys lacrosse now, Parkside and Bennett. We're sticking with the city teams here. They're already big Salisbury rivals, but the Bayside South title on the line earlier this week. A Bennett win gives them the title, but the Rams very much still alive and firing on all cylinders early. Rasheer Evans driving right and finishing. Bennett would narrow the lead before half. Clippers' Braden Glushkow makes it 8-5 Parkside into the locker room. Second half, Rams trying to pull away. Lucas Ingley rings one up. He had 2 goals and 4 assists. And here's one of those to Dom Flora with a team-high 4 goals. Rams maintaining that 3-goal cushion. JMB, one last push. Alex Sewell cuts it to 2 with less than a minute to go. But that Rams defense standing tall, forcing the turnover as they would run out the clock from there. Parkside hands Bennett their first Bayside loss of the season.
I think it all starts with us playing together. We have chemistry like no other. Love each other. We're all brothers, and we're all like here for each other. Ball movement was there. We were getting great looks, great shots. We knew that our offense, ball movement was going to happen, and we were going to score.
All right, so with their win on Thursday, Parkside would need to win tonight against Stephen Decatur to get that Bayside South title. But the Seahawks, as you can see, with other plans. Bennett is the Bayside South boys lacrosse champ with this result. They had only 1 loss in the conference, better than any other team in the South. All right, to the girls, same matchup as earlier, Parkside and Bennett. A big reason why has been Leah Volov for the Rams' dominance in the South, the interception on defense, and on offense, finishing it off with a goal. She wasn't done just there. Volov, another one. She had a hat trick in the first 4 minutes of this one. Bennett not bowing out so quickly. Dalen Gregory spinning and finding the top corner. And then Callie McLaughlin taking the hit and finishing to make it a 1-goal game, stumbles behind the net. But as the rain started to fall, the floodgates would open for Parkside as well. Keely Block gets in on the scoring. This one eventually called at halftime because of the weather. Parkside cruises 10-4 over the Clippers.
All right, so what are the takeaways? Obviously saw Parkside score the big upset only to lose to Stephen Decatur.
Yeah, how about that?
I mean, what are we thinking?
Yeah, how about Decatur doing Bennett, or 3A East rival James and Bennett a favor
by
making
winning.
them, making them the South champions. That's really amazing, especially considering what Bennett has done all year. We weren't really expecting Parkside. You know, Parkside's had a great season, but who knew that they were this year they were on, and then it just comes out to Bennett's the champs.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Parkside-Bennett game was kind of just, I mean, obviously a little bit of icing on the top of the cake there for Parkside. They knew they could take this rivalry this season, speaking to some of their players, and they certainly came out and do it. Also want to mention Dom Flora Jr., 14 goals this week alone. So, yeah, good player here on the shore, only a sophomore, by the way.
Yeah, I would say he's a pretty good player, right?
I think we're going to be all right.
That's exactly right. All right, also really quick, guys, want to shout out the Bayside track teams. They're the inaugural North and South championships, and it looks like Bennett won the South and North Carolina won the North today. So we also got to shout those guys out. All right, that's going to do it for all things in Maryland, but when we come back, we're taking things to Delaware. Cape and Dover
First
in the state semifinal rematch. This one was epic. Those highlights when we return.
My name is Dom Flora, and I play for Parkside Lacrosse, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.